Hi there. It's January 29th and time for Proverbs 29. Now, this is the last of the Solomon's Proverbs that King Hezekiah's men copied. Tomorrow we will hear the words of Agur. It's my favorite chapter. Now, let's go. Verse 1, He who is often reproved yet stiffens his neck will suddenly be broken beyond healing. Right? People that just don't listen. Right? There are lots of those out there. They think they know everything. Right? 2, when the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan. You don't have to go far to see this, do you? Yeah. We'll talk about that again in a minute. He who loves wisdom makes his father glad, but a companion of prostitutes squanders his wealth. Yeah. Oh, we've seen that, haven't we? We're not going to talk about that one. By justice, a king builds up the land, but he who exacts gifts or bribes tears it down. Okay. Or who taxes heavily. Remind you of a certain party, right? Yeah. Truth right there. Just truth. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. He that giveth ear to the flatterer is in danger as the bird before the fowler. So according to this, you're not supposed to flatter your neighbor. I would think that would be a good thing, but they disagree. You're setting a trap for yourself, it says. 6, an evil man is ensnared in his transgression, but a righteous man sings and rejoices. Righteous, right? Righteous. I'm still going to put all these righteous together. Should be cool. A righteous man knows the rights of the poor. A wicked man does not understand such knowledge. Right? They have rights, okay? Same as anybody else. 8, scoffers set a city aflame, but the wise turn away wrath. Now, what does that remind you of? Scoffers set a city aflame. You go back about 4 years ago, and a lot of big cities were on fire, set off by scoffers. Like a history book, isn't it? If a wise man has an argument with the fool only rages and laughs, and there is no quiet. Right. You can't argue with a fool. They're just going to call you names. Okay? That's all they're going to do. They can't handle the truth. 10. Bloodthirsty men hate one who is blameless and seek the life of the upright. That's interesting, huh? Bloodthirsty. I don't know why I highlighted that last time. But that's true. That's going on too. Recent history, right? 11, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. That's important, okay? Fools are out there screaming and yelling, right? A wise man keeps his mouth shut, holds it back, learns, okay? Gains wisdom from what he sees. 12, if a ruler listens to falsehood, all his officials will be wicked. Right? Lies. The poor man and the oppressor meet together. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. Right? Reigns for everybody, right? 14, if a king faithfully judges the poor, his throne will be established forever. Got that? But some people oppress the poor, and their thrones are not established forever, right? 15, the rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. Right. Discipline your kids while they are young, or you will not be able to handle them later. 16, when the wicked increase, transgression increases, but the righteous will look upon their downfall. Yes. Kind of going on now, right? They really don't like it. Okay, this goes with 15. At 17, discipline your son, and he will give you rest. He will give delight to your heart. Right. Everybody loves kids that are wise and disciplined. Right. 18, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint, but blessed is he who keeps the law. People are discouraged. Right. No prophetic vision. Right. Now somebody's telling us all kinds of prophetic visions, right? Things are going to be great. The new golden age, they say. All right. What's it say over here? People decay. There's a note. Where there are not faithful ministers of the word of God. Right. It's kind of hard to pick out the faithful ministers of the word of God now because many of them are corrupt. Sad to say, but the Bible said it would happen, right? Right. 5 of the 7 churches he talks about in Revelations, he called them synagogues of Satan. And that's a big percentage. Okay, 19. By mere words, a servant is not disciplined, for though he understands, he will not respond. Some people you have to show them, right? They've already said this like 4 times in Proverbs, right? Do you see a man hasty in his words? Some say wise in his own eyes, right? There's more hope for a fool than for them. And we know the fools are the worst of the worst, right? Can't be taught anything. He speaks too hastily. Keep your mouth shut. Don't speak too hastily. 21, whoever pampers his servant from childhood will in the end find him his heir. Right. I wouldn't know. 22, a man of wrath stirs up strife, and one given to anger causes much transgression. Right. You ever see these angry people? There are some newscasters like this. They're just angry and screaming and lying all the time. It's just, and they cause much transgression, right? 23, one's pride will bring him low, but he who is lowly in spirit will obtain honor. Lowly in spirit, that's humble, okay? Being humble. God doesn't like prideful people. He likes humble people. Right? 24, the partner of a thief hates his own life. He hears the curse, but discloses nothing. This kind of people stick together, right? 25, the fear of a man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Fear of man, you got that? The fear of man lays a snare. Whoever trusts in the Lord is safe, okay? You should not be afraid of what man can do to you. Right? They can't take you away from the Lord. They can't snatch you out of his hand. That's important. Fear of man. There's a note over here. He that feareth man more than God falleth into a snare and is destroyed. Right? You should never fear men more than God. 26. Many seek the face of a ruler, but it is from the Lord that a man gets justice. That the Lord is where the man gets justice. Many seek the face of a ruler, right? President, judges, right? The Lord will take care of it. And 27, an unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, but one whose way is straight is an abomination to the wicked, right? The good guys hate the bad guys, and the bad guys hate the good guys. All right. For different reasons, too. So, there you go. That's Proverbs 29, the last of Solomon's Proverbs that Hezekiah's men copied. We'll go over the highlights here. When the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan. You don't have to go far to see this, okay? You don't have to go back very far in history to see this. Happens over and over again. You could get into a lot of political talk with that verse, but we won't. Okay? Fact that we know in here, that's for is highlighted by justice, a king builds up the land, and he who exacts gifts or bribes or taxes heavily, right? Taxes, have you noticed they call taxing heavily gifts? Destroys the land, right? Taxes destroy the land. And now they're talking about getting rid of taxes. Wouldn't that be something? Hey, a righteous man sings and rejoices. Yeah, I like that. A righteous man knows the rights of the poor. A wicked man does not understand such knowledge. Right. That's true. This one, if you've been around for more than a couple of years, you'll know what this means. Scoffers set a city aflame, but the wise turn away wrath. Yeah. Now, there were cities in 20 and 21 that were on fire. And there were other big cities that were not on fire because the wise turned away that wrath. Okay? And said, you won't do that in our city. Terrible stuff, isn't it? 10 bloodthirsty men hate one who is blameless and seek the life of the upright. Okay, there are people that are out for blood. Okay, they're angry and they just want blood. Right? They hate the one who's blameless, and they will blame him for stuff. Seek the life of the upright and try and manufacture things that never happened. We've seen enough of that, right? 11, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Right? A fool poureth out all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterward. Mm-hmm. Don't be one of those people, angry and screaming and outbursts. Right? Quietly hold it back. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah? Just observe. Right? 15 is highlighted. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. Right? Goes along with 17. Discipline your son, and he will give you rest. He will give delight to your heart. Right? If you teach your kids the right way to act, later on in life, they will be a blessing to you. Right? I know this firsthand. My kids are a blessing to me. 16 is highlighted. When the wicked increase, transgression increases, but the righteous will look upon their downfall. There's hope right there. That's called hope, okay? And we are starting to see this now. And they're not going to go down without a fight. So, like I said, there's lots of political stuff we could interject in there, but we're not going to. 18, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint, but blessed is he who keeps the law. Right? It says, we're talking about pastors here, men of God, right? And there's a lot of people who are preaching things other than the Bible right now. They preach on feelings, and it talks about that in Revelation too. Just preaches to tickle your ears and make you feel good, okay? That's a synagogue of Satan, Jesus called them, okay? The devil is running those churches. All right? The big dog back there. All right. Blessed is he who keeps the law, this law, Bible law, okay? Fear the Lord. And 20's highlighted. Do you see a man hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Never speak without thinking, okay? Never speak without thinking. And people do, okay? You blurt out stuff and you're going to be sorry later. You know, hasty in your words. 23, one's pride will bring him low, but he who is humble or lowly in spirit will obtain honor. All right. The humble always obtain honor. You can't stress enough the importance of being humble, okay? And that's what God wants. Humble, lowly in spirit. He wants a humble person. Doesn't want somebody prideful. Okay, it says all over Proverbs especially that God hates prideful, arrogant, conceited. Okay, he doesn't like it. He finds that an abomination. Yeah, because you are not supposed to act like that. Okay. 25 is highlighted. The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Some people are more afraid of men than they are of God. Okay. Big mistake. Okay. Big mistake. Man cannot snatch you out of God's hand. Okay. If you're following the Lord, you know where you will end up. Okay. And man can do nothing to you to take you away from the Lord. That's a trap. Right? And 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous. Right? But one whose way is straight is an abomination to the wicked. Right? And you can see that now. I mean, you can see the good guys and the bad guys, the good, people that care versus people that care about themselves. It's huge. Okay, it's huge. So there you go. That's Proverbs 19. And that's the end of Hezekiah's Proverbs. Tomorrow we read the words of Agar. 30 is my favorite chapter in Proverbs. Okay, it ties everything up and tells you what wisdom is. Okay, after all this reading, it all comes together in chapter 30. So we'll do that tomorrow. Later on, we are doing Matthew 19 in its entirety, and it's not real long, so it's kind of short. So, about the rich young man and teaching about divorce. So stay tuned for that. But give us a like if you think about it, and we're just going to keep doing this. Okay, we're just going to keep doing it. This is the 17th time through. Okay, I vowed I would do it 24 times. Okay. Promise I made to myself a long time ago. It was a challenge I heard somewhere, and I was going to do it. So many years ago, and I haven't done it yet. And this is the first time I'm actually doing it. So, but there you go. Till later on, we'll do it again. See ya.